Tell you say I love you. My money now your own you, baby. 33,000 for the account, yo. Yes, and this is on this note we start service 101. And you know how it is. You heard the song. It's 33,000 gang, and a lot of core members are super excited that they got paid with the implementation of the minimum wage to 33,000 naira. And there's been uproar among core members, and of course, you now do justice to this issue alone. I have in the house guests with me, fellow core members, who of course would have a thing or two to say about the increment from 19,800 naira to 33,000 naira of the monthly allowances for core members. Do stay tuned for a brief break. We'll come back and we'll go straight to the discussion. Welcome back to Service 101. My name is Austin Ofiano, and like I said, we're going to do justice to the 3,000 naira increment of the minimum wage from 19,800 naira for core members. And to do justice to that with me is Olumide. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and you're looking 33k-ish. Like, as in, the money is already showing on you.
And it looks like you got yourself a new wristwatch. It's not Valentine yet, and you're gifting yourself.
No, it's normal now. After singing, just take care of yourself and try to look good.
And the haircut is looking at 3K.
It's looking at
Welcome
3K.
to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, by my far right also is Paul Okoye. Paul, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very fine. I'm doing more than good. Like, seriously. This 33K. The journey to this 33K is not small. But we are finally happy that at least we got to receive that 3K before we passed out of service. That's the main thing, and we'd like to say a big thank you to the federal government and everybody that was involved in pushing for that at 3K.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's well, it's a good one. Noting that core members initially were complaining that the 3,000 naira isn't going to be, the 19,800 naira was never enough.
Yes.
And then they didn't expect that this increment was going to be as swift as it was. Some of you who are 19A core members were even thinking you were going to pass out before even. So Olumide, what do you think was the reaction of core members to receiving this?
I think when the 33,000 actually came in, most of core members were actually happy, because someone like me, I was asleep and someone called me on in the early hours of Friday. I was like, Olu, it seems they have sent this 33K. I just saw it on my phone. I was like, seriously? Immediately, I had to go online. I saw some messages on some Telegram group chat, and I was like, that's nice. So I was waiting for when mine came out, oh my God. Immediately, I started calculating. But the funny thing was that when it came in, I started getting messages. After they said they don't increase in at 33K. Tell me
the
that
billing started.
So it was like it was receiving 19K all over again.
Okay, so Paul, what was your reaction to it?
I'm telling you that as early as 5 a.m. I have already received like 20 calls about that 3K.
Wow.
I was like wondering, why are these people calling me? So I decided to go to my WhatsApp first. My WhatsApp was on fire too. Messages everywhere. Guys, they don't pay this at 3K. Guys, they don't pay this. Me, I refused to believe until I saw mine. That was what I said. I wasn't going to believe until I've seen mine. Like, okay. So when my own alert came in, man, the joy, I shouted because, like, seriously, I was like ecstatic. You know, you don't get to see this every day, and it came very early. So it was like the best thing that anyone could have woken up to.
Okay, now that's on a good note. Yeah. Everyone appreciated and welcomed the 3,000 naira increment. But then it came on a Friday, and of course, you know, being a presenter of this program, I decided to take a walk around town on Friday and on Saturday. And I found that at this point, well, speaking on a Tuesday, some people don't have as much as 5,000 naira again because they had squandered over the weekend. What do you make of this, Olumide?
Apart from the fact that you saw yours early, there are still some states that are yet to be paid.
True that.
Ahead of Lagos State as well.
Also, yeah.
Core members are yet to receive the money. But in our own case, I think it's actually not pleasing to hear that you got 33k on, let's say most of us got it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Then today is Monday. You're having like someone was telling me he does not even have anything in his account again. I was like, Oga, what happened? How did you spend the money? Okay. So he's not. I don't think it's pleasing to hear.
Paul, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's chop life gang. Understand? The people that can't come and kill themselves.
I thought the dirty December thing was over. It was time to plan.
It's over, but this is January. I can't come and kill myself January. You understand? Immediately that stuff entered, I was passing through a very popular restaurant here in Ado. One guy like this, only one comment, I recognize that boy. Solomon is his name. Only him. 10 girls in the restaurant spending money anyhow as if the money will not finish.
Okay, I think it was the same person you're telling me about that was screaming, I can't come and kill myself and all of that. If I perish, I perish. That was the adage he was using.
If I perish, I perish.
What advice would you give to people like that? Because the month of February is still far to think, and then you still see that most of these core members will begin to depend on fellow core members who are able to manage their resources judiciously. So what would you say to those people who had squandered theirs? Those
kind of people, according to what you guys said, you said if you perish, you perish. But one thing is, we are youth, and one of the first things we should try to know is that we should prepare for our future.
Sure.
So no matter, I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun. It's normal. Enjoy yourself, but
it should be within the budget.
Yes, and do it responsibly. Try to make some plans, budget. Even out of that 33k, let's say okay, you are the kind that likes to really spend so much. Try to set apart like 5k. The remaining is not that you are not expected to like live a flamboyant life on 33k. How much is that? It's not up to $1.
It's not $100.
$100. I mean,
we're coming to that.
So it's wrong.
I was a little bit surprised when you said we are core members, so we should plan our future. So
on 33k, I know that's the question that popped up in your head.
I was like, plan the future on 33k. No, you should just be able to like budget it in such a way that it should be okay for you, like, you understand, for the month. Don't just spend lavishly because there's money there. You want to spend, you want to impress the ladies or the guys, you want to impress your neighbor. When you go hungry, the neighbor is not going hungry with you.
Yes.
Sure. So just try to like live within your means. So that's just it. And for people calling us, telling us they have increased your 33k. So federal government are increasing, they don't have sense, Abi. They increase it so that we'll start sharing.
I wonder.
They increase it so that we'll like adjust and know that they know that yes, that 19.8 wasn't too okay. So they increase it for us to be able to like live better, not for us to share.
Okay, and there's something that has been making the rounds around town also during my survey, during my work. And you hear market women, you hear Okada riders, you hear taxi riders. They are all making a lot about this increment and saying that okay, they also have to increase prices in transport fares and prices in goods. What's your opinion on that?
There is this law in economics that say when the higher the price, when the cost the price is high, then so when the money is high in circulation, price of things will actually go high.
Okay.
So now it's just economics coming to play. Even at the time the federal government announced that the 33k has been implemented, the pay will started.
Yes.
You know, most of these market women have started seeing core members in different lights.
Okay.
They have started saying, they have paid you. Even someone was telling me, you guys have been paid, and I was like, they are yet to pay. Even as at that time, I was expecting 19k. So I was telling the woman, don't try that. Just pay. Sell these goods to me the normal price is to sell it. So I think it's wrong. They should not just use the opportunity that they are paying us 33k to now
to exploit us.
Yes. Thank you. That's the language. So they should consider.
Okay.
I have been expecting it, like I said, and almost everybody has been expecting it. So we know that when they raise the new minimum wage, like things will adjust, inflation will happen. You understand? Prices will soar. So, but they should be considerate. I know that things will definitely go up, but these people should be considerate. Like stopping a bike, for instance, in Ado, and you are putting on an NYSC,
your full regalia,
7/7. Baba, wetin the bike man dey see na CBN.
True.
You understand? Like bag of money. You are telling someone for a distance not less than 500 meters. If I don't even want to say 1 kilometer, and they are calling 500 for you, and you are wondering how, if it's not that I want to get there fresh, I will just trek.
That's true.
So now on the flip side, when 19,800 naira was being paid as allowances to core members, the dollar was at 100 and something naira, and so it was $100. That 19.8 was an equivalent of $100.
Yes.
But right now, 33,000 naira is the allowance, and it is less than $100. As a matter of fact, it is $94.5. 33,000 naira. Does it signify a decline or an increase? Olumide. Okay, Paul, start. I see you're in a hurry to say something about
I think so many factors are responsible for that.
Okay.
Like you can't entirely compare then to now, because
of course, it's not a comparison.
Yes,
we're just
because,
asking.
Yes, I'm just
putting
putting it into perspective now. I want to put it like the amount that a barrel of oil was sold then isn't the same as now.
Okay.
There have been a slump in oil prices.
Okay.
So I think all those factors will now come into play when you are talking about the revenue that the country is gaining from a major source of export, which is oil. You see that there have been a slump in price, and like I say, so many factors. I'm not an economist, but I know that so many factors are responsible for these things. So, but I still think that this.
I need to correct something when you say there's been a slump in oil prices.
Yeah.
To some extent, as a nation, it's our fault. If a barrel costs $51 per barrel, if you refine yourself as a country, it would cost 3 times that when you're exporting.
Yes.
And Nigeria has the ability to refine, but that is not what we are talking about now, because it's a discussion for another day. Okay, so when you say that things are not the way it used to be back then as it is now because of the slump in oil prices, we shouldn't attach it to why
like
the dollar or the increment doesn't tally with the $100.
The price, the slump I'm talking about, it's a global something. It's not just in Nigeria. Whether you refine in your country or not, we are talking about how much you sell to others. The price is something global, but
we're still saying the same thing.
But still giving, like I said, I'm not an economist, but I know that so many factors come into play when you are considering how much you are going to pay as the new minimum wage. So many factors. I'm sure they sat down to like go through it with experts, and they came up with let at 3,000. I think they were on negotiation with NLC for about
a long time. Yes,
before they came to that standpoint. So I just feel it's a move in the right direction, at least for now. It's a move in the right direction for now.
Is it a decline or an improvement?
I won't say it's a decline or an improvement.
So you're sitting on the fence, but you're not actually on the fence.
It's something good. It's something commendable. Please.
I would have attributed your speech to what someone said about a particular issue, but let's leave that. Is it a decline or an improvement? I know you can just be straightforward, so let me hear it.
I'm going to stick with Paul.
Okay.
I'm in between. It's not a decline, but I think the increment is actually a good thing.
Of course,
because the 19.8 of them, you can't compare it with now.
Okay.
That 33K at least can still get is like an increase as
so
well.
Let me put it
not comparing with the dollar with dollars now.
Okay. Let me put it well. Let me put it well. They have done well, but they can do better.
Okay, exactly. I think that's what you should have said instead of making reference to the oil. But Olumide, I thought you were trying to express more on that.
What I was saying is that don't let us compare with the dollar now, because that's even out of it. Checking the price of $1 to naira now, you can't even be bold enough to say you have money. But checking it side by side with the naira, 19,000 naira to 33,000 naira is actually, that's like 75% increase.
Okay.
So let's just say they tried, but they can do better, as I said.
And even comparing it to dollar is so unfair because we don't spend in dollars. The spending power is different.
Yeah.
They don't pay you in naira and expect you to spend in dollars.
Dollar.
They pay you in naira and you spend in naira. So that's just.
Okay. Looking at it from all points now, from the core members' point to the federal government's point to traders' point to your parents' point to siblings' point, you know, all of this would be affected.
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying. I know I'm making references to all of this. If you have a younger one, okay, it's at 3,000 naira now. It used to give me 1.5. You should make it 4K.
Sure.
And then traders want more, transporters want more. How would you advise core members to deal with all this pressure? Because eventually everything good comes with added pressure. This increment that's been celebrated, there's an added pressure, you know that. So what's your advice to core members as to how to manage all of these pressures, Paul?
Switch off your phone first of all. Change your SIM. Buy a new SIM card. Like seriously, that's like the only way you can escape this thing now, is to buy a new SIM card. Like me now.
Are you gonna switch off on traders, on transporters, and all?
There's little or nothing you can do about the traders. Let's be honest here, or the transporters. There's little or nothing, except want to embark on massive strike, buy new pairs of sneakers and start trekking. That's the only thing I see that we can do about that one. So, but on the side of friends and family, at least you can try to talk them into seeing that, man, the FG, like federal government, increased this thing because they know we needed an increase, and not for us to give out the one that the increase on top. So they see that yes, core members are actually going through a lot and they deserved more, so they decided to increase it. So I feel family and friends should be able to understand if there's anything you can do, definitely you do it, but the pressure should be balanced. Because imagine, like I said on that day, I'm not exaggerating, about 100 people called me, either called or texted me, and we were like, congratulations. Imagine, even if it was 500 I decided to start sending to them, 100 people, how much will remain? Will I not even be owing? So just consider it, you understand? So that's just what I am saying. So the advice we should even be advising them, not us.
Okay. Olumide.
So please.
When the DG actually announced that this pay will start, he said NYC and the federal government decided to pay this money because out of compassion for core members, because they understand what we are actually what we are going through. So the first thing I will just say is this: you can't please everybody.
Okay.
You can't please everybody. So the little one you can do, just do, but don't overdo. Don't overdo, please. Don't overdo. And concerning the traders, budget, plan. You see, there are some things that I think some of us are fond of buying things
we don't need.
Well, we don't need. And even apart from that, we buy things. You know, there's this, maybe because I studied accounting, but there's this thing that if you buy one thing per one, there's a different price. You can actually buy it in bulk. So the thing is, plan and have a budget. Draw a plan and just know how you spend your money. If you are buying let's say this sachet tomato, this is it sachet tomato, that they make, this Dangote, I don't know the person that makes them. So if you can get that in bulk, maybe you use them to cook, you can just buy that in bulk, and it will at least save you some cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In the midst of all of this, it happened that when this came in, every single core member, I'm very sure, gave themselves a treat. So, Olumide, what treat did you give yourself? We want to hear.
I won't lie to you. I'm here to give myself a treat. My 33K is still in my account. I'm still thinking of what to do with it. So I'm here to give myself a treat.
You are still thinking of what?
I'm still thinking.
Paul.
Man, with this submission that Olu just made, I'm ashamed of myself. Man,
okay.
I have treated myself in every way possible.
Okay.
Like, went to a restaurant, like I said. I like ate many things that I know that I have been craving. I have been craving. Let me say I've been craving.
Okay.
I finished round 1 and I went for round 2. Like seriously, I even went on a field trip and like the money remaining in my account now, it can't even flash.
MTN to MTN.
I'm telling you, it's like seriously. But we'll be good. We'll be good. Like you said, I already made a budget before I went into all that. So don't misunderstand me. I already made a budget, so I know that I won't lack for this month.
Okay, so one last word to fellow core members who you feel that would manage judiciously, and then who you think would squander. Just in 30 seconds, could you tell them?
To fellow core members out there, my little advice is just know what you are doing. Just plan yourself. Please don't overdo it. Do something, but don't overdo it.
Paul.
Yeah, don't outdo yourself. No go do pass yourself. You understand? If you do pass yourself, only you go suffer the outcome. So that's just it.
All right, that's all we can take on this episode of Service 101. The 3,000 Naira increment is a welcome development, and as my guests have rightly said, Paul and Olumide, they said that the federal government have done well, but they can also do better. And on this note, we're signing out of Service 101, and I remain your humble host, Austin Ofiono. Until we come your way again, same time next week. Stay tuned to Ektv Channel 41. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.